Hi. So yesterday in our previous video we'll have learnt about the indicators and how do the indicators helps us to determine the pH of a given acid or base. Okay, particularly universal indicator helps to determine the pH, and the other indicators which are common indicators, so they simply helps us to identify whether the given substance is acid or base. So now today we will learn about the importance of pH in our daily life. So pH is pH have got lot of importance. So because we use, every reaction is based on pH only. Okay, every chemical reaction, it depends upon the pH only, right? So the general importance of pH, so which we come across in our daily life. So we will learn some of the examples. For example, so in the field of biotechnology, how it is useful, let us see. See, when biochemical and organic reactions are done at controlled pH only, we will get a best results. If they are not done at controlled pH, we don't get best results. For example, if you want to prepare any antibiotic, any drug, okay, so that antibiotic it functions only at a particular pH only. Okay, so that antibiotic can be produced in large amounts only at a particular pH value. If the pH value of the chemical reaction changes, then we cannot get antibiotic. So like that. So in the preparation of any materials which are required for our daily life, so that means particularly in biotechnology, so there is a pH has got lot of importance. So we have to control the pH value of any chemical reaction. So then only the reactions will run perfectly, and we will get the desired result, best result. Then only we will get a best result. So like this. Now in the preparation of breweries, what are breweries? Mattu padarthal and mattu paniyal. Mattu paniyal. Okay, breweries means mattu paniyal. So here different flavors. Example, wine. Example, if you take wine, so different flavors of wine are obtained at different values of pH. If the pH value of the wine is changing, then the flavor of the wine also will change. So the flavor of wine depends upon the pH value of that wine. So the wine will have different pH values at different flavors at different pH values. So that means depending upon the pH only, the flavor of the wine will be. Okay. So like that, in breweries industries, the pH will be useful. In milk plants, see, actually the pH of the milk should be maintained at the value of 6.6. This is important. What should be the pH of the milk? It should be 6.6. Suppose if the pH of the milk is less than 6.6, what happens? The milk turns sour. అది పులిసిపోతుంది. That means the milk will spoil. Okay. So that means the minimum pH of the milk should be maintained at 6.6. So if it is less than 6.6, what happens? That milk will destroy. It turns to sour. Right. Now another application of pH in agriculture, in the crop production. See, before growing of any crop, first we have to test the pH of the soil. pH of soil is tested before growing a particular plant. So all soils are not suitable for the growth of all kind of plants. Some soils are suitable for growth of special kind of plants. For example, citrus fruits or else citrus plants. they grow better in alkaline soil. What is the meaning of alkaline soil? The soil whose pH is greater than 7. Such soils are said to be alkaline soil. Okay, so in alkaline soil only citrus plants like lemon, orange, etc. they grow better. Okay, now, so sugarcane grows better in a neutral soil. What is neutral soil? The soil whose pH is equal to 7 is said to be neutral soil. When the pH is equal to 7, pH of the soil is 7, that soil is very suitable for the growth of sugarcane. If you want to grow paddy means rice. So rice or paddy grows better in slightly acidic soil. Okay, the soil is slightly acidic. That means if pH is less than 7, if it is slightly acidic, okay, then that soil is suitable for the growth of paddy or rice. So in this way, the pH is useful. Next, in the medicine, see, actually medicine in particularly to find out some type of diseases. So in order to know some type of diseases, so just generally we need blood test and urine test. So in the blood test or urine test, here the people, those people will determine the pH value of the blood and urine. So by determining the pH value of blood and urine, then only the certain diseases can be diagnosed. Okay, based on the pH value of the blood and urine, so the doctors will suggest, will tell what kind of disease it is making us suffer. Okay, so like that, in medicines also this pH it plays an important role. So here pH helps us to know what type of disease and what disease the person is suffering from. Okay, right. Next, in cosmetic industry, see, we generally use different types of soaps. For example, special soaps for if a person's skin it is not well, and if it is not healthy, that means rashes. Sometimes people suffer from rashes, or else some itchings and other things. So some special type of spots may develop on the skin. Special type of patches may develop on the skin. So why do all these things are produced on the skin? Because our skin always produce some secretions. Okay, our skin always produce some secretions. So those secretions will be of different nature. Okay, suppose if you apply some soaps, if you use some soaps which is not which is not suitable for the secretion, the skin secretion, then what happens? That soap will react with the skin and causes some skin diseases. Sometimes shampoos also they are not suitable. All shampoos are not suitable for all types of hairs. Even face creams are also, all face creams are not suitable for all type of skins, because different skins will produce different secretions. Based on the type of secretions, the type of face creams we have to use, because here the face creams have different pHs, and the pH values of the skin secretions will be different. So here we have to use the face creams which pH it is suitable to the pH of our skin secretions. Otherwise what happens? That face cream will show certain reactions on the skin and it causes certain skin diseases. So like this. So in cosmetic industry also the pH value it plays an important role. Okay, so particularly special soaps or shampoos or face creams are prepared for the consumers, okay, who are having different pH values of skin secretions, because I mean a person, from person to person, the skin secretions will differ, and the pH values of the skin secretions will differ. So we have to use the suitable soaps only, okay, and the suitable shampoos only, and the suitable face creams only we have to use. So we should not use all types of face creams are not they do not shoot for all types of skins, okay. So specific face creams only are suitable for specific type of skins. So like this. So here in this way the importance of pH can be learnt. Right. Next one is, so we learn some substances and their pH values. pH value of common substances that we come across in our day-to-day life we will learn. So pH values of common substances. So commonly we use different types of acids or bases, or else different types of substances in our day-to-day life, or else in laboratories, etc. So we will learn the pH values of different acids, bases and other substances. So for example, take dilute HCl. So its pH value is 1.0, because this HCl is produced in our stomach. Our stomach will secrete HCl. This HCl helps us to for the digestion in the stomach. So our stomach will produce HCl regularly, okay. So what is the pH value of dilute HCl? It is 1. So 1 means strong acid. Look here. So the pH value ranges from 0 to 14. So here this is a pH scale. At 7 it is neutral. So here as we move away from the 7 towards the 0, what happens? Depending upon the pH, the strength of the acid will be. So if the substance has only 1 pH, then it is strong acid, very strong acid. If the substance have pH of 2, then that acid will be somewhat less weak, less strong, somewhat weak, or else somewhat less strong. The substance with the pH 3, it is still less strong. The substance with the pH 4, it is further less stronger. With the pH 5, it is very weak acid. So here pH 6, very weak acids. So like this. So generally after 4, the pH value after 4, if the substance have pH value after 4, then those substances are said to be weak acids in general, and up to 4, the pH value is up to 4 nearly, those substances are said to be somewhat strong acids. And the acid with pH value 0 to 1, so it will be very strong acid, very strong acid, okay. Between 5 to 7, if the pH value is there, then the substance will be weak acid or else very weak acids. Okay, like that. So here dilute HCl, its pH is 1, that means it is very strong acid. And even dilute H2SO4, dilute sulfuric acid, its pH is 1.22, its pH value is 1.22. Vinegar, actually vinegar contains what? Acetic acid. It contains acetic acid. Okay, what is the formula of acetic acid? CH3COOH. Okay, it's so acetic acid. Its pH value is 2.9. Next, lemon juice. Lemon juice contains citric acid. So its pH, the pH of citric acid is around 2.4. Grape juice. Contains tartaric acid. It contains tartaric acid and its pH is 3.5. Its pH value is 3.5. Next, milk. The pH value of milk is 6.6. Okay. Next, the pure water. If it is pure water, then the pH value will be 7 exactly. It is neutral. Okay, 7 or else 7.0. Human blood. Human blood have pH value of 7.4. So this is asked in many competitive exams. So generally this question may be asked in many competitive exams, right? Even pure water, but even milk also. So like this. Sodium bicarbonate. What is the formula of sodium bicarbonate? Sodium bicarbonate, it is also called as baking soda. Okay, we'll call it as in Telugu we'll call it as tine soda. Okay, actually vanta soda or tine soda. So actually its formula is sodium bicarbonate, NaHCO3, sodium hydrogen carbonate. It is also called as sodium hydrogen carbonate. So its chemical name is sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate, and baking soda is the common name for that one. So it is somewhat basic in nature only. So its pH is 8.4. It is somewhat basic in nature. Sodium bicarbonate. See, after 7, the substances whose pH value is above 7, those substances are said to be having basic nature. Right. Milk of magnesia. What is milk of magnesia? So we have learnt about milk of magnesia. Magnesium hydroxide is said to be milk of magnesia. So while learning about antacid, so this name we have come across. So milk of magnesia. So here the milk of magnesia, it is used in the preparation of antacids, and its pH value is around 10.5. Okay. Next, dilute sodium carbonate. Na2CO3 solution. Sodium carbonate means washing soda. When washing soda is, it is dissolved in water, the solution washing soda is dissolved in large amount of water, then we will get a dilute sodium carbonate solution. Okay, so here its pH value is 11.6. Okay, next dilute sodium hydroxide. Dilute sodium hydroxide solution. Dilute sodium hydroxide solution, its pH value is 13. So like this different pH values of different substances which are common in our day-to-day life, so will be okay. So we will learn some more substances pH value in our higher classes. Okay, right, Nana? Now we will learn about the difference or else comparison between common indicators and universal indicator. So comparison of common indicators with universal indicators. See, if you see common indicator, actually it will tell us whether the given substance is simply acidic or not, acidic or basic. So it will simply says common indicators tells us, it simply tells us, simply indicates, tells us means indicates, simply indicates whether a given substance, is either acidic or alkaline. Okay, it simply says that whether the given substance is acidic or alkaline. But universal indicators, what does it tell? See, it indicates the pH range of the acidic or basic. Not only this universal indicator not only tells us whether the given substance is acidic or basic, it also explains about the pH. It gives about the pH value also, value of the given substance also. So what is the pH value of that given substance also we can know with the help of universal indicator. But common indicators cannot help us to know the pH value. They simply tell whether the given substance is acidic in nature or basic in nature. Now the second comparison is, this cannot be used to determine the strength. Common indicators cannot be used to determine the strength of the acid. Determine the strength of an acidic or alkaline solution. Suppose if there are two acids, let us say it is acid 1, it is another acid, acid 2, let us assume. See, for common indicators, both acid 1 and acid 2 are same. They behave in the same way with acid 1 and acid 2 also. That means they cannot determine the strength of which one is strong acid and which one is weak acid. We cannot find out with the help of common indicators. But universal indicators can be used to determine. Universal indicators can be used to determine the strength of acid or bases, strength of the given acids or bases. For example, here these are two acids. So if we add universal indicator into this one and into this one, then we can easily tell which acid is stronger acid and which acid is weaker acid. So because if we add universal indicators, then the color of this acid will change. The color of these two, when these two are different acids, then the color of these two will differ. When a universal indicator is added, then they change into different colors. So depending upon the color, the pH of the solution can be known. Already we have seen universal indicator will have different colors at different pH values. So depending upon the color, we can identify the pH value, and depending upon the pH value, we can identify the strength of the acid. Because if pH value increases, then acidic strength always decreases. So for example, if two substances X and Y, for example X its pH value is 4 and Y its pH value is 6, let us assume. So now which one is stronger acid? So because the one with higher pH value will have less acidic strength. So this one is having high pH value. As this one is having high pH value, then X is stronger acid than Y. So like this, depending upon the pH value, we can easily identify the strength of the acid or else the strength of the given base, or else even suppose one is acid and other one is base. So here even common indicators also helps us to know which one is acid and which one is base. Even universal indicator also helps us. Universal indicator will also helps us to find what is the pH of this acid and what is the pH of this base also. We can easily identify. Okay, so like this. Universal indicator can be used to determine the strength of the given acid or the strength of given base also can be known. So next comparison is, see these common indicators do not work at certain pH range. See, common indicator, for example, I will write that point. See, these common indicators cannot distinguish between acidic and alkaline solutions. In a certain pH range. For example, yesterday we have seen litmus. So litmus solution is a common indicator. Litmus solution is a common indicator. See, at the pH of 5 to 7. So at the pH of 5 to 7 range, what happens? This indicator will show different colors. So below pH 5, the litmus solution, it gives red color with the acid and it gives blue color with the base. but between the pH of 5 to 7, so that litmus paper cannot identify whether the given substance is the nature of the given substance, whether it is alkaline solution or else acidic solution. So certain pH range, at certain pH ranges, they cannot work, they do not work at all. Okay, so they show same color with even acids or even with bases. Okay, so at certain, they cannot distinguish the acidic or alkaline solution in certain pH range. That means at certain pH range, so when we add these indicators, these common indicators, so even with acids also, they will behave in the same way like how it is behaving as base. That means they cannot show a particular color either in acidic medium or else in alkaline medium at certain range of pH. Hence, such a common indicators cannot be used in that pH range to identify whether the given substance is either acid or base. But about universal indicator, if you speak, universal indicator, see, it can easily distinguish between acidic or alkaline solution in any pH range. It can easily distinguish, or also differentiate, it can easily differentiate between acidic or alkaline solution. Okay, at any pH range, because these universal indicators, they have definite color at a definite pH value. So depending upon the color, we can easily tell the pH value of that substance. So if we can easily tell the pH value of that substance, we can easily tell whether the given substance is acidic or alkaline. Simply we can easily tell, and we can easily tell also, whether the given substance is strong acid or weak acid also, or else whether the given substance is strong base or even weak base also, we can easily identify. So that is the importance of universal indicators. So universal indicator can be easily distinguished between acidic or alkaline solution at any pH range, because at every pH range the universal indicator will have its own color, different color. Okay, its own color. Every pH value will have its own different colors. A pH value will have a particular color. So depending upon the particular color, we can easily identify whether the given substance is strong acid or strong base, or whether it is an acid or base, like that. So this is the comparison of indicators and common indicators and universal indicators. So in the next video, we will learn about the salts and their classifications.